I got that all the way up. I'm gonna have to loosen that wheel. I wonder if this whole jam has sagged. I'm gonna have to loosen that wheel. Good Lord. Try to teach you something and I'm having fits here. Okay, so I'm gonna try to lower this wheel again as low as I can get it. And I'm hitting, so I've got to lower that wheel. Or actually, no, I've got it raised. I've got this side over here raised up. Let's get you out there. See that gap up there? I can't even move this at all. It hits right there because there's no slop in the wheel. Okay? And so I've got to give it some slop. I've never seen one with 4 wheels. I've got this loose, see, I've got this unscrewed all the way, so I guess I got to screw it in to give me slop. Some room up in here. Let's just see, I've tightened that screw. Now let's see. And see, I can hardly get out of here now because I've adjusted that screw, and that's lowered that. Let's see, that's lowered that down. And so I'm gonna have to Mickey Mouse around with this, but you know, it should be a matter of adjusting all the wheels to get it to where I want it to go. And man, it's almost straight there. It's actually the very opposite that I have it adjusted right now, just so that you can see that yes, you can adjust these. Remember before we had a big gap up at the top. I'm gonna close this. See, I've got to close it right there. Now see, up at the top, I've got hardly any gap at all, and at the bottom, I've got a gap that's just slightly bigger than the top. And before, it was a whole lot. If I just keep it right there, see, it's hitting that, so I have to push in and then slide it over. Just because it's an 8-foot screen door, it has a little flex there. Okay, but if I just hit it right like that, my gap is almost the same. See there? Whereas before, I was hitting at the bottom first. So I know I can lower this wheel down. If I lower that wheel down, that'll help me up here. But see, before I could only open it up to about there. Now I can open it to there. But I can open it further if I lower this wheel down here. And let's lower it. I'm gonna lower it down a little bit more. And it's like these screws are the very opposite of up at the top. If I unscrew that, it should lower. I'm going to look at that. And it did lower. See, it's still hitting that up at the top. So now I've got to screw that up. Good grief. It's like a happy medium, because once you get the whole thing adjusted, then it's like you could tighten up the wheels so you don't have any slop at all and have it slide. You know, whereas most screens you can only adjust at the bottom. So if you lift it, you could lift it up a little bit. I know I still have to lower. I still have to lower that one. Okay, so it's getting there. Good Lord. Okay, so loosen the screw here. Little. See, now I got it to, now I have it to open all the way. Do you see that? But now the trick comes in, how well does it look on when I'm closing it? Because that I've got right at the bottom there, okay? So I'm gonna keep it like that, and see the gap down there, about 3/8 of an inch, and look up at the top. I got a little bit more, but not as much as before. If I close it all the way, I still got the gap, and you see, it's just barely opening right there. I can feel it. I can feel the tension right as it's right there. That it's just barely going to where I can't raise this side of the door up anymore. You see what I mean? If I raise that side, or if I raise this side of the door up, which means I would have to screw the bottom and make that wheel come up, it would lessen this gap right there, right? But I can't go up any higher, or else this is gonna hit, okay? So I'm pretty much out of adjustment on this side. So what do I have to do? I have to adjust this side, and I've got to lower it down, but there's only so much lower I can do it before I don't have any more adjustment. Okay? So now I'm going to lower this to the lowest that I can get it. And I'm almost there. Okay, right there is where I'm bottoming out. I'm almost rubbing, and that's the last of the adjustment I can do on that one. And see, as I do that, it cocks this other side up, and it's hitting again. Lower that down. It barely goes. It just barely goes. And let's take a a look at this and see what the dealio is happening here. Okay, now I've got the screen closed. That's way better. See the gap up there? Now I look at the gap down here. It's about the same. Way better than it was, right? Now how come? And it's just barely sliding beyond. Here, see it? It kind of hits right there. But if I slide it, it goes. And so what I could do is spray some WD-40 up there. I think I'm gonna do that. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos.